All right, Marybeth, I'm so excited to be doing what we're about to do here and
Me
stuff.
too.
And you and I, my gosh, we first got connected back in like 2015. 2000. You know what? Time flies, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
And we
Yep.
were trying to remember how we got connected. And I think we came up with it was Paul Hartunian. I had actually met Paul through Joe Polish years ago. And in case you're kind of wondering, that name sounds familiar. Paul Hartunian is the guy who sold the Brooklyn Bridge, and then of course became a big PR expert in the process. And Mary Beth, you've known Paul for a number of years. The two of
Oh,
you actually worked serving Thomas English muffins together and stuff.
we did. There was a new plant being built in Chicago, and I was out there on the people side, and he came in as a consultant, and we got to be really good friends. And I think it's another example of connection. I've learned so
Yeah,
much from him.
yeah. And you and I have known each other for a while, and I'm just going to put it out there and just say it that Mary Beth, you are such a badass at what you do. And of course, you would
Thank
never
you.
describe yourself that way, but yet you totally are. I mean, my gosh, for years, you have been the trusted growth advisor for companies like we mentioned, Thomas English Muffins, for Pillsbury, Hagen Dazs, Brother, Chanel, and for the last 10 years, you've also kind of focused your effort on helping like much smaller companies too and stuff.
Right.
And there are a lot of entrepreneurs in my world who have companies where they have teams, where they have staff. That it could be 10, it could be 50, it could be 100, 200, 300 people on their team. And I know that a lot of them are having challenges and that they would really benefit from somebody like you who has such a long history of expertise in this. And so we decided to do this Zoom event together. And so, Mary Beth, I'm just going to kind of turn it over to you real quick and just let these entrepreneurs know, why it's in their benefit, it's going to benefit them from joining us from this Zoom call that we're going to host for them.
Absolutely. And I want to first thank you, Kevin, for your love and connection and support, not just for me, but for everyone. And you are just the best at it. And a lot of times, we're single entrepreneurs and it kind of gets lonely out there.
Sure.
And
Sure.
you're here and the group that you put together is just amazing in terms of it's another example of how we learn. We don't have to do it all by ourselves.
Yeah.
So I
Sure.
really thank you for that. And I'll start with the why.
Okay.
Why is this even such an important subject? Just about every single one of the clients that I've worked with, it's their number one issue, the thing that drains them the most. At the end of the day, they think, oh my gosh, all I've done was firefight today.
Mm.
People problems. They're not talking to each other. They don't get the vision. They're off in their own direction. They're just, sales and marketing are just not working together. And
Okay.
it creates such an issue. And it's a real impact. I mean, it's a productivity impact when people are doing things all by themselves. So when we look at the people issues and really start digging down, which is what I do, what's behind it? Why is this team not working together? And this isn't soft stuff. This is hard data. When you have
Mhm.
a great workplace environment where people really feel that they are recognized, they're valued, they're challenged, and they're developed, that's where successful companies excel because they get it, right? They understand the why this is so important. And, some of the other issues, one is around attracting and keeping the best talent, and, everyone looking at this knows that how expensive it is and time consuming,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
To hire people and to keep them. And, there's been so many studies done, especially post COVID, in terms of, this whole area of culture and people engagement. We hear that word a lot, so what does that mean? That's kind of a buzzword, but it means people are in it. They're all in. and they really get it, and they're going to give you their best. And to me, that's a great, definition for engagement. People are giving you their best because you're giving them your best.
Yeah.
And when you do these things the right way, your reputation gets out there, either through Glassdoor or your community. Like, this is a great place to work. I want to work there. So that's really another reason in terms of the why it is so important for this whole issue of people and culture and communications. And I'll talk about communications. I mean, how many times people have told you, or you felt like, oh, we just don't communicate. They're not listening to me. Whatever those words are, and it gets really frustrating for people to not be able to communicate. Or, as a leader, you feel like, I don't understand why they're not doing what I asked them to do. And I've been studying language and the use of words for many years in terms of effective communication. And there's such simple ways to understand how to improve in this area, and to show the teams how to do that as well. And one of the first is being aware of my impact on others. A lot of times when we're talking, we're having conversations up here, and we're not attuned to what the impact is on the other person. And that's really the number one step, is awareness of what I'm doing and saying, how it affects you. So there's some really simple, fun ways. I think I just mentioned to you, I just came back from a 6-day intensive training on communicate better, on language and connection with people. So and it's fun, and that's the other thing. We need to have more fun at what we do. And a lot of
Amen.
times, right? And a lot of times as business owners, we're not having fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's important, when we talk about the why, to build some of that in as well.
Okay.
And I think the last thing is really around developing ourselves first as leaders. There was a great quote from Jack Welch, and he says something to the effect of, before you are a leader, success is about developing yourself. After you become a leader, success is about developing others.
Yeah.
And that's really powerful, because that's one of the things I talked about, a little bit, the studies post COVID, that when people have development opportunities, they are so much more compelled to stay in the company and give it their all. So
Okay.
that's, starting with yourself. And again, as business owners, so many times we're last on the list. And
Yeah.
this is why, developing connection is really critical. Um, and one of the things that I do is take some of my clients through a really, really powerful process of looking into the future in terms of, this is where I want to be. What's it going to take to get there? And what kind of skills? How do we develop people to get there, to ensure that you not only have the hard stuff, the technical and equipment and all there, but do you have the people skills to get you there as well? So that's, that development, again, another buzzword, but it is so powerful and so impactful on results.
Okay. Well, there you go. So if some of the stuff that Marybeth shared with you just really hit home, if that really resonated with you and you feel it would be worth your while to join us for this Zoom call that we're doing, just let me know. I will make sure that you get an invite, and we will see you then.
Thank you, Kevin.
You bet.